Because they don't have tea for you. They usually had tea and coffee ready for you.
Morning. It is 9:30 a.m., Thursday, May 11th. Richland County Board of Commissioners is now in session. I'm Richland County Commissioner Cliff Mears, joined by fellow Commissioners Darrell Banks, Tony Vero, our clerk Stacy Crawl, County Administrator Andrew Keller. Mr. Morgenstern is here. And we also have some other folks that have joined us today. We have State Representative Marilyn John, along with Xander Washburn and his mother Jen. Is that correct? And we also have Kurt Braden representing Attorney General Yo's office. So thank you all for coming. And online we have Alan Carl from News Journal and Richland Source respectively. First order of business is something that apparently is a passion of Xander's, something he wants to share with us. Apparently a Boy Scout, which is a wonderful thing. Would you like to come up front and tell us what's on your mind, Xander?
Good morning, Mr. Banks, Mr. Mears, Mr. Barrow, and Ms. John. I'm Xander Washburn. I'm 12 years old. I'm a seventh grader at Crestview Middle School. I'm here because I sent a letter to Ms. John about the environmental issues in Richland County. It concerns me because I see people littering and throwing trash off the side of the road. I believe this is a problem for many reasons, and one of them is that it may get into water and animals will have to consume that water, therefore getting sick or killing them. I see trash and other items on the side of the road and it upsets me because I know it's not right.
Well, thank you. It appears you are a very accomplished scout. You have an awful lot of medals there. And I think we certainly share your concern for people throwing things out the window and then trashing the landscape. Thank you for sharing. Any comments from my fellow commissioners?
So do you have to, and again, I wasn't a Boy Scout, so you can help me. I hear you guys laughing back there, by the way. So can you earn a badge for doing work, cleaning up the environment, which you came to speak to today? Are some of those badges a product of the work you've put in towards this effort, or how would that work? And I don't know. So maybe if you could tell me.
Well, doing this project, I was working on citizenship in the nation merit badge. This is a part of getting that merit badge.
So what would you have to do to go through to get the badge then as part of this?
Like, there could be like 5 things, but all of them have like A, B, and C, which are the requirements to get that one done like 5 times.
Okay.
Well, I was a Boy Scout. And what he accomplished in 1 year took me 7. We were both Star Scouts, and this young man got it done in 1 year.
He's almost an Eagle Scout, I think.
It's like he's got life and then eagle.
You're almost there, huh?
Seem to be a great representative of that fine organization, but what do we do? How do we change people's minds and get them to stop throwing things out? And let me preface that by telling you that I used to be on Mansfield City Council here, and we had similar concerns. And there was one rainy Sunday, I remember that I knew the Browns were going to lose, so I went out on that Sunday instead of watching the Browns lose. I cleaned up. I took my little Kia Rio and I cleaned up a street called Mulberry Street. With that, I cleaned 3 blocks because it's just really a mess. And I used these garbage bags into the trunk of that little car, and I had it picked up, and I was pretty proud of what I had done. 2 weeks later, I drove down that same road, and you couldn't tell that I had been there. People still continue to throw things. So it's an issue of people's attitudes. Do you have any suggestions on how we can get people to be more concerned about what their neighborhoods look like and what the streets look like, and be more, I don't know, do the right thing and put trash where it belongs?
Well, I have an idea that there could be a day dedicated to picking up trash, because in spring we have Earth Day dedicated to cleaning up trash on the side of the roads. But mine could be a day in October called We Like Green, Let's Keep It Clean. And it could be a friendly competition among schools in Richland County to have a pickup competition, picking up litter. And in return, they could have like an incentive day.
Brilliant. That's an excellent idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. Are there any comments from anyone here in the room?
So Xander, can you talk about some of the things that you are today and maybe some of the other things that you've done to, I think you probably have to do a few things to get those patches.
36 merit badges.
What are some of the other things that you've done?
This one I got at NBSR, and I'm the youngest scout to tie 10 behind my back.
Hmm.
That's for crossing over.
And crossing over means coming from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts, correct?
Okay.
I'm in Troop 214. Then I have all these.
And did you have to do some different activities to get those merit badges? Oh, that's a lot. And so Eagle Scout is at the top.
Yes. And after that, there's 3 palms, bronze, silver, and gold.
Okay, and that's all part of being an Eagle Scout?
Once
Or
you
is
get
it
your
fun?
eagle, it's like extra stuff.
So I married an Eagle Scout. Saying.
Let's hope you pick better than he did.
But anyway, so I was actually spoke at an Eagle Scout event last week here in Mansfield. And one of the things that I shared with them is individuals here in this room have hired, they've looked at resumes, they've done interviews to bring people on. And one of the things that really stands out for me when I look at resumes are individuals like you who have spent time getting merit badges like you have, and when you accomplish the Eagle Scout, there's 2 things that really stand out for me if I see them on a resume, and that is an Eagle Scout or even the similar elevation in the Girl Scouts or a student from an FFA, because I know that that means a lot for a person's character and for their work ethic. And so I think that the work that you're doing right now and getting all of these merit badges, it'll stay with you for life, and it'll get you a really good spouse.
Maybe.
Life Scout by August, and he'll start working on his Eagle project, and his goal is to be the youngest Eagle Scout. So his goal was to be an Eagle Scout of 13.
Wow.
Well, her husband didn't get it till he was 40, so I mean, and by a lot.
Well,
Well, we also have several projects around the county that has been completed by Eagle Scouts. So I'm sure whatever project you pick, we would love to hear about it.
and Xander, we have hired a officer in our solid waste. Deputy Sheriff to help with the enforce the laws about littering. And we also just yesterday appointed a new educator out there. And I would suggest that maybe you get a hold and talk to these people.
Actually, yeah. that's
And
good.
the educator he's brand new. He's just been working 2 weeks, and we appointed him yesterday. And he's got all kinds of ideas about education, but I'm sure that you could help him, give him some ideas and really be meaningful for all of us if you could do that. Make sure you get the information. I won't have to give you anything, to look up on the website and you can find it. And being and to be an Eagle Scout by 13 is just unbelievable. I told Xander earlier, my grandson's an Eagle Scout, and he had a goal of doing it by he was 15. And I thought that was aggressive. And you know what you got to watch out for, don't you? Wheels, work, and women. You from getting that. So when you get a car, you're gonna be.
You won't have cars.
No, you won't have.
Right, now may be the time to do it.
And you're not at all interested in women at this time. That's a good thing. Now, when you're 33, think about it. And work, we want you working by the time you're 18, so.
Thank you so much for coming in, my friend.
Xander, you're an impressive young man. Thank you so much for spending part of your morning with us.
You are always welcome back. Just don't bring Representative John. with you, Okay?
Sorry that you missed running a mile, and science. He was also very concerned that he missed science class. So he's-
Well, before you,
Make sure you keep us up to date on your Eagle Scout. Because we do.
Yeah.
right, and before you go, Xander, let me ask members of the media if they have any questions for you. So Carl, do you have any questions for Xander?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, congratulations, Xander. Can you recall the very first time that you looked around and became concerned about littering in the environment where you were, what you saw, and what did that mean to you?
It was like 7 or 8. They went down a road and we brought a bunch of bags and put up every single bag. There's still a lot of trash.
And do you remember what you were thinking as you were doing that?
Why do they do this?
Did you hear that, Carl?
Yep. Why did they do this? I love
Yes.
that. I love that comment, Xander. I think, and I think that's the best quote I've had come out of that room that you're sitting in for a long time. So,
At least since Maryland left.
exactly. And I'm also not stunned that Mr. Vero was not a scout when he was growing up. Nothing shocking about that. Marilyn,
I was in the library studying.
yeah. Marilyn, what did you think when you got the letter from Xander? What were your thoughts when you got this letter from a young scout?
So one thing, and I'm always impressed when I hear from young people, or even we have young people who come to the State House to testify on behalf of legislation. And it's another colleague this week said, when a young person speaks out to us, it's really significant. They're still growing and learning. And so the courage that it takes for them to come to the State House or come to a county commissioner's office and present their ideas, we pay attention to that. And sometimes I think we get a little discouraged when we look at the world, but when I have someone young like Xander who speaks up and brings ideas forward, it gives me great hope for our future.
Okay. Al, go ahead. This is one of those times, Xander, you'll run into this when you get older. You had a thought in your head and then it leaves for a second. So you pause and hope it comes back. So Al, go ahead.
Yeah, and I can say the older you get, the more that happens too. One question I had, what motivates you to become an Eagle Scout?
I guess I just want to always keep learning, and that just pushes me to fly through the ranks.
Okay. What were your favorite merit badges?
Chess, rock climbing, rifle shooting, personal fitness, first aid.
Those were all your favorites?
Some of them.
Okay. So you've
He's
got
got
a lot of
24 to
interest, then
choose
I
from.
take it. I'm obviously you're interested in the environment, or you wouldn't be here. You have any other interests that you'd like to work on besides these environmental ideas?
You said you like fitness. Do you like
Yeah.
that?
Would you ever think of doing it? You've thought of some things that you could do to promote environmental awareness. Are there any things that you have thought of that you could do to promote fitness among your generation? I know for us adults that with all the kids sitting and playing video games and stuff like that, we as adults are concerned that people your age aren't getting the exercise and fitness. Is there anything you can think of that you can encourage other people to stay fit?
Well, I've noticed when I do physical activity, in order for me to really enjoy it and want to do it more, it has to be fun. Like Taekwondo, doing paddle, sparring, boxing, all of those are really fun and it makes me want to keep on going back.
You like competition, don't you?
I assume there's no merit badge for video games, is that right?
Oh,
I hope not.
So
I don't know.
Not when we record it, but if there is.
Anything else, Al?
Yeah, I think that's all the questions I had. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to come around because I want to shake your hand one more time.
Have anything else?
I did remember that question and I wrote it down while Al was speaking. Xander, what was going on today in science class that you're very concerned that you're missing?
presentation. And we have a test.
Presentation and a test. What were you going to be presenting on?
I've already presented, but it was about the environment. It was with,
Very good. Go ahead.
I think it was with biomes and temperate grassland, deserts.
Very good. Well, I appreciate it very much. Congratulations, Xander. It's very nice to meet you today.
Those voices were from journalists, by the way, Richland Sorensen, the News Journal.
Just those. Go out on the source in the News Journal, you might be on there. Could we get a picture of you with the? Yeah, okay.
Marilyn, could you send me a copy of that picture?
I have hope for the future. What a great kid. All right. Next order of business is to certify the record of proceedings for May 9th. Motion to approve.
Second.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
yes,
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes. I have a motion to approve requisition.
yes,
Second.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
yes,
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
I have a motion to approve the weekly transfers and appropriation requests.
So moved.
second,
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
yes,
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
I have a motion to approve utility permit applications from Spectrum, which involves a great number of streets.
So moved.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
yes,
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Can I have a motion to waive the wastewater's building permit extension fee? Applied for a year ago. We're still waiting on that generator. So typically there's a fee of $103, which is $100 plus $3 state fee extension, but it's county paying county. So I'd like to have a motion to waive that fee if we could.
Earl, you want it?
Yeah, I'll make that motion. I don't know if we can do anything with that 3%, but I'd met $3, but I imagine that's just a percentage they add on if we collected it. So let's waive that fee.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow.
Yes.
Do we have any other business to come before the Board of Commissioners right now?
I do one more thing. We have a letter of resignation, motion to accept the resignation of Belinda Kreider effective May 16, 2023 at Richland County Child Support.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow.
Yes.
Braden looked like you were ready to say something.
Would it be proper for me to be able to address the commissioners at this?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Great, thank you. On the passing of Prosecutor Gary Bishop, the Attorney General Yost issued a statement. And it'd be okay if I read that statement.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost issued the following statement regarding the death of recently retired Richland County Prosecutor Gary Bishop. Gary Bishop is synonymous with justice for crime victims in Richland County. That area of Ohio has lost a dedicated prosecutor and compassionate victim advocate, one who will greatly be missed, but most assuredly not forgotten. I offer my deepest condolences to his loved ones and the many people he championed in Richland County. During his tenure as Richland County prosecutor, Bishop was honored for outstanding achievement and meritorious service to crime victims by Ohio Prosecuting Attorneys Association, Ohio Attorney General's Office, and Servants and Victims Services Division of the Ohio Court of Claims. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Braden. Thank you very much. Any other business come before the Board of Commissioners?
Marilyn, do you want to talk to us about anything or you don't?
I really wanted to be here with Xander today, so thank you all for allowing him to come and speak for you. Also, thank you, Kurt, for the words regarding Prosecutor Bishop. Gary was a friend, and we ran in campaigns together, and I know the staff put together a book that they presented to Gary in his last days, and they had asked for me to share just one of my favorite memories. And it took me back to when we were on a mud volleyball team together in Plymouth, and how much fun we had and how much he enjoyed doing those types of community events and how much he loved his community of Plymouth. Being a graduate of Plymouth, I really appreciated the care he took in his community. And but my favorite part of that day was watching Gary try to coach us from the side. If you've ever played mud volleyball, there's a pit, you're in the mud. And but Gary would stand on the side and go up and down the side trying to coach us. Stayed clean, mind you.
Yes.
That day. But he coached us from the side, and Tony did drag me down into the mud that day also. He was on the team. But we just had a really good time. And that's one of my favorite memories of Gary that I'll be able to take with me is, and he was a county prosecutor, and he defended victims, and he tried very hard to keep us safe. But I'll remember him on the sidelines of mud volleyball tournament. And that's how I choose to remember him. So thank you for.
And it's obvious, since Gary was a lawyer and we know Daryl loves lawyers, that he clearly got better grades in Maryland at Plymouth as well.
Well, he didn't.
Make sure the media notes that as well.
He didn't graduate from Plymouth, but he ended up there, and
Buckeye
so
Central.
That's right, Buckeyes, you're right. Well, he got better grades than her.
against Buckeye Central.
That's right.
But he had a wonderful career. At one point, he worked for the Attorney General, Betty Montgomery.
Yeah.
And so he had a wonderful career of public service and we are very grateful for his life.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice words. Okay. Well, hearing no other business, we will go into recess for 5 minutes. It's 9:55 and we have a executive
I
session.
think it's more than
Oh,
that.
It's 10:30, isn't it? I didn't have my glasses on. It's 10:30. We've got about 35 minutes. So we'll go to recess, 35 minutes and reconvene at 10:30. It is 10:31. The Richland County Board of Commissioners is now in session. I'd like a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing discipline. Please.
So move.
Second,
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
yes.
It's 10:46. The County Board of Commissioners is out of executive session. I would like a motion to give a 1-day suspension and false testimony for one employee at the wastewater treatment plant, and a second discipline for a second employee, 3 days for gross neglect of duty.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to other business. We have a job posting to discuss.
It's all you. It's all me.
I was gonna say, I don't
wasn't
have
sure.
anything else.
As you know, I lost my administrative assistant in October of last year and been trying to keep everything afloat and get through some of the things that we've been dealing with out at wastewater before I posted, but I need to hire. I am requesting as of right now, just to post it internally for 3 days to see if someone that's actually out at wastewater would be interested in applying for the position.
Discuss this and I'm wholly in favor of, we've gone into detail about the necessity for this. So
Carol, make a motion.
I will make a motion that we post internally for 3 days.
Second.
Commissioner Mears.
yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow.
Yes.
So
You don't, can we go ahead and if somebody doesn't, I go ahead and post it externally?
Do you want to go ahead and authorize that now? If she doesn't get anyone internally,
yeah, that's a good idea.
then you don't have to come back.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow.
Yes.
Hey, now let's talk about some roof repairs at Crestwood.
Crestwood Holding Roof, it is one of our locations that at one point was a wastewater treatment plant. And when we did upgrades, we've used it as a equalization basin. The building there is seeing better days, but as Corsa did their yearly inspections and things when they were checking on the roofs in Richland County that they insure, unfortunately, they found that this one was in a little disrepair. So they have made the request that we get it repaired. I'm working with Josh Hicks and County Maintenance. He was able to help me and get with Steve and get this quote bid out for construction. And we received 2 quotes, one from Edwards and one from Warner. And Warner came in as the lowest bid for $15,075. I'd request the commissioners approve moving forward with.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow.
Yes.
Online?
Al, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Val? Hey, the Richland County Commissioner stands adjourned. 50, we will reconvene for another executive session. It is 11 o'clock a.m. The County Board of Commissioners is back in session. Could I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss discipline of a public employee?
You may.
Second,
Commissioner Mears, Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
yes.
It is 11:03. The Richland County Board of Commissioners is out of executive session. Make a motion to approve a one-day suspension at employee at Dayspring for unsatisfactory work.
Commissioner Mears, Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Anybody online?
Al is,
Al is.
yes.
Hey, Al, you have any questions for us on anything we've just talked about?
Yeah, I forgot to ask earlier about that roof contract from where?
I can send you the information.
Okay, that's fine. That works.
Okay.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay, is
Yeah.
any other business to come before the Board of Commissioners? Hearing none, the Board of Commissioners stands adjourned at 11:03 a.m.